Rusty doesn't like debt, but he's got a little. And Paul Barger has an emergency. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody had a great Easter. All right, Paul Barger, that's right, good old Paul. He found himself in a little bit of pain. He had some stomach pain. He said it wouldn't go away, and he finally went in and, to come to find out, he had an appendicitis. So he had his appendix removed, and he said it was, the new way, of course. The orthoscopically, the 3 little holes, and they go in and they take it out. And so, he is on the road to recovery. So going over to Paul Barger's and give him some well wishes on this Easter holiday for a speedy recovery. Yeah, kind of a weird Easter present, won't you think? Yeah, all right, Paul. Get well soon, man. Get well soon. All right, moving on to my Nomadic Dream. That's right, Herbie. Herbie is on his way from Michigan to Uranus. That's right, he went to Uranus on Route 66. And he did have to stop by at the famous fudge factory. That's right, he got some fudge from Uranus. All right, let's move on to Rusty. Okay, Rusty, he says he doesn't like debt, and who does, And his viewers often say, when I talk about Rusty, they always say that, well, Rusty trades stuff and he only buys it once he just trades and he really doesn't owe anything. And it's just it's a wash and blah, 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 which is fine either way. But the fact of the matter is he just went through and he told everybody what exactly went on with the Ford Ranger, because a lot of people were asking. So, when he explained it, guess what? Rusty does have a little bit of debt. He took out a loan, and he has to pay that back. I'll give you the rundown real quick, and then we'll let Rusty tell you the story. But first, we all know he got that. We'll start from the first Equinox. He bought the Equinox, and then he got rid of that because he was getting ready to sell Bunky, but nobody wanted to buy it. So the Equinox wasn't going to pull his little bunkhouse travel trailer, so he decided to get rid of the Equinox and get a Ford Ranger. Okay? Then after the Ford Ranger, he decided, because he saw that there was a deal on an Equinox, and it was 10 grand off with all the incentives and everything. So it was a big 10 grand discount. So he decided to trade the Ranger in on the Equinox. But that's right. So you're saying, oh, well, he traded it. So no, here's the catch. He didn't have the paper title in hand. So therefore he couldn't trade it in. So they gave him an out. They gave him an idea. So since Rusty wanted to take advantage of all these incentives and didn't want to lose the opportunity for this 10K discount, the dealership said, well, here's what we can do. Finance the Equinox to keep all the incentive and get the deal, to lock it all in, finance the Equinox. And then when you give us the title, then we'll cut you a check for the loan. So that's what Rusty did. He took out a loan, a 5-year loan for, I think it was 28. So once you figure tax, title, and all that, it's probably just right around 30 grand, maybe a little under. But so 30 grand, a 5-year loan is what he took a loan out for. So just let's recap so we don't get behind or confused. Traded the Ranger and on the Equinox, but didn't have the title. So took out a loan for the Equinox. Okay? So I know what you're saying. You're going to say, well, then all he has to do is do exactly what that. But in the interim, he is now looking at a Chevy Colorado to tow the bunkhouse because he's not selling that now. And the Equinox is not going to tow the travel trailer. So now he's going to take that 28, when he gets the title that they're going to give him for the Ford, and he's going to go buy a new Chevy Colorado. So that leaves him with the 5-year loan that he just took out. And then he's taking that Equinox money. I mean, no, because he got the Equinox. He's taking the Ford Ranger money and buying the Chevy Colorado. That leaves him with the loan for the Equinox and the trade up for the pickups. So he'll have the Equinox, the Chevy Colorado, and the travel trailer. So that's where we're at. So when everybody says he trades and does whatever, well, that's fine. But he didn't. And again, it's not a big deal. But just to say that, because again, Rusty says he does not like to be in debt. And his little followers are, wow, he didn't break even on this one because he's got a little bit of ahead of himself, and now he's got 2 vehicles to insure and maintain and all the other good stuff, and along with his travel trailer, which is no big deal. He still has his land in New Mexico and all that other stuff. But just so you're not going to say, no, that's not what happened. Well, let's just go over it with Rusty himself.
25 Ford Ranger I bought brand new in the first part of March this year, 2026, March 2nd or whatever it was. And I had it for a while.
A very short while.
I saw a super deal on a 2026 Chevy Equinox at a dealer in Castroville, Texas, that I had done business with a few times. And so I thought, well, hell, let's take advantage of that before that $10,000 discount goes away.
So there we go. So far, like I said, he had the, he's now trading the, getting ready to trade the Ford Ranger. It's hard to keep track of all his vehicles, excuse me. Now he's getting ready to trade the Ford Ranger in on the Equinox. That's where we're at the moment.
And they were like $26,000. It's almost a $38,000 electric vehicle. So I thought, let's get that. So I did. I went to Castroville to the dealership, and I was trading in the Ford Ranger 2025. And they offered me $28,000 trade-in, which was more than I paid for it. And I thought, well, that's not a bad deal, plus the $10,000 discount. So let's do it. Well, but I didn't have the paper title. Well, since I didn't have the paper title, we couldn't complete the deal. And I thought, well, wait a minute, these incentives aren't going to last forever. And they said, that's right. They may go away in a week. And they did. But I'll tell you.
And so there, we're up to where he doesn't have the title. So let's just go ahead and we'll take out this loan for the Equinox. And then you can just, when you give us the title, we'll give you the money. You pay up the loan. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Bob's your uncle.
Tell you more about that's another story. So what I did is they gave me $28,000 for my vehicle, my Ford Ranger 2025, but they said, well, when you get the paper title, we'll give you a check for $28,000. You finance the EV, get all the incentives and discounts and all that today. And then when we give you the check for $28,000, you pay off the loan to General Motors for the EV.
There you go.
I said, great idea, except for one thing. I got to pay sales tax on the full price of the unit. And I thought, well, is that worth it? Yeah, you're still going to be money ahead. So I went ahead and did the deal, financed the EV, General Motors, for 5 years.
5 years, like I said.
I got that deal done, but I still had a 2025 Ford Ranger sitting there at that dealership. And they said, no problem, we'll park it somewhere. And I carry insurance on it, so it's okay.
So, yeah, he talks about the insurance and how it takes a while there in Texas for them to catch up, and title work is real slow and all that good stuff.
Whenever you get the paper title to us, we will give you a check for $28,000, or you can use the $28,000 to buy you whatever the hell you want. And I thought, well, of course, I had the
had.
bunkie, the little bunkhouse RV I have on or for sale for a few weeks, and nobody had bought it. I had people come by, blah blah blah. It wasn't sold. So I thought, well, okay, here's a plan. Let's keep the 16-foot bunkhouse model travel trailer.
Yep.
Not that much money. $11,000 tied up approximately.
So yeah, he's going on with this.
And then let's get us a brand new pickup with a little more towing capacity, because the Ford Ranger struggled.
He didn't like
towing bunkie, and so did the Maverick.
So
I thought, well, based on what I've read and so forth, the 2.7 liter Chevrolet Colorado WT with a towing package. You have to have the towing package. We'll do it just
to have the
fine.
towing
That's
package.
my opinion. We'll find out. I'm waiting on the paper title to complete the deal on the Colorado work truck, because we've already made the deal pending title from the for the Ford Ranger. Okay, even though basically.
So anyway, as Rusty stumbles on and on and on, it's just like I said. So instead of him paying off the Equinox with that money that he took that 5-year loan out on, he's going to go buy a Chevy Colorado. So he is still in debt. As little as it may be, he's still on the hook for the payments on the Equinox. And then the Ranger is the even up trade for the Colorado, from what he says. And then again, like I said, he has the 2 vehicles to insure and upkeep and all that stuff. And he got his little bunkie, and he can hook the Colorado up to the bunkhouse and go about his merry way. All right, so that's going to pretty much take us to what? It's going to take us to the comments of the day. And that comes to us in this form here. It says, well, the last Class C he bought was over $100,000. He called himself Fickle for a reason. And he admitted that sometimes he loses money. He's just bored. At least he isn't like Tater, throwing good money after bad, collecting crap and giving woke companies money hand over fist. So yeah, there you go. That's going to be the comment of the day. And yeah, hey, again, the guy, he lived his life. He's 80. He's not hurting anybody, and he doesn't seem like he's hurting himself, so he can just go right ahead and do what he does. Like I said, though, it's fun to watch. It's fun to try to keep up with him and see what he's doing. And I just wanted to run through this stuff because, again, a lot of his people were asking, well, what exactly happened to the Ford Ranger, and where did everything go, and why do you have this and that? And so, for those who say, well, he just trades, he doesn't ever have debt. Well, I just wanted to show you that he did this time. He did go a little overboard, and yeah, he's collecting vehicles now. So that's what Rusty's up to. And yeah, I don't know what else to say except again, go over and check out Paul and give him a little happy Easter wish, a get well wish, whatever you may feel so inclined to do. I hope you guys had a happy Easter, and that's going to do it for this one.
This is Blind Views, and that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.